So what exactly is Doctor Strange's plan? What was the 1 in 14 million outcome that worked? And did Star-Lord mess up that one winning outcome by waking Thanos when they were trying to keep him mellow?
Are you making your voice deeper?
No, you
He
are.
just did it
You're
again.
imitating the god.
This is my voice.
So cool.
Let's break down and understand all the events and exactly what Doctor Strange's plan is. When on Ebony Maw's ship, Tony suggests to Doctor Strange that they should take the fight to Thanos on Titan. Strange says that under no circumstances should they take the stone to Thanos. Alright Stark, we go to him, but you have to understand, if it comes down to saving you or the kid or the time stone, I will not hesitate to let either of you die. I cannot, because the universe depends on it. Peter, Tony and Strange then encounter the remaining Guardians of the Galaxy, Mantis, Drax and Star-Lord. Strange says he went forward in time to view 14,605 alternate futures to see all possible outcomes of the coming conflict. Tony asks, how many did we win? 1. When Doctor Strange says he went forward in time to view all possible outcomes of the coming conflict, I don't think he meant only the conflict on Titan, where they tried to remove the gauntlet from Thanos. Strange was referring to going forward in time to the point where they were ultimately going to be able to defeat Thanos, events which we will only see unfold in Avengers 4. So when Star-Lord seemingly botched the plan to remove the gauntlet by angrily smacking Thanos in the face, he didn't actually change anything. In fact, I think it's exactly the outcome that Doctor Strange was expecting and foresaw. He wasn't referring to winning the conflict on Titan, he was referring to the entire war. So no, it wasn't Star-Lord's fault. However, the attack on Thanos, which ultimately failed, was incredible.
Boom!
Doctor Strange goads Thanos into monologuing, allowing Iron Man to drop a massive structure on him. He then uses the Cloak of Levitation to stop him from closing his fist. The design of the Infinity Gauntlet is obviously such that he needs to close his fist in order to activate one of the Infinity Stones. Doctor Strange's Cloak of Levitation has been damaged and destroyed several times in the comics. In fact, in one battle, the Imperator tore the cloak apart. Doctor Strange was able to teleport away and save just a piece of it. It still retained some of its magical powers, but it couldn't fly and was weakened. When Loki became the Sorcerer Supreme, he was able to recover the other pieces and sew them together using Asgardian thread, as you can clearly see the seams of where he sewed it all together. So anyway, Iron Man fires everything he has at Thanos, who just pretty much absorbs the blast and sends it right back. Nebula then surprisingly hits him with her ship. It seems that Nebula must have arrived earlier, as she seemed to be part of the plan. Even though it was a surprise for us as the audience when she showed up, it wasn't a surprise to the Avengers and the Guardians. Doctor Strange was clearly the most powerful of the Avengers in this battle on Titan. He grabs Thanos' left hand while Quill uses some gravitational device that he previously had used in 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy on planet Morag. He used it to retrieve the orb which contained the Power Stone, as well as getting some of Korath the Pursuer's henchmen to have a group hug. Strange opens a sling ring portal above Thanos and drops Mantis on his shoulders, putting him under in some way where he can talk, but that his body is weakened and vulnerable. Spider-Man and Iron Man try and pull the gauntlet off as Peter Quill interrogates Thanos. Once he finds out that Thanos has sacrificed Gamora to the Soul Stone on Vormir, completely loses it, understandably, pistol blaster whipping Thanos in the face. But unfortunately he also succeeds in pistol whipping Mantis' hand, causing her to withdraw, giving Thanos just enough time to recover his full faculty. Spider-Man had actually taken the gauntlet completely off his hand, but Thanos then manages to grab it and then use the Space Stone to tear off pieces of one of Titan's moons and throw them at the team. Tony does well against Thanos, but is obviously outgunned and is defeated and stabbed with a nanoblade from his suit. Just before Thanos is about to throw the full force of 4 Infinity Stones, destroying Tony, Doctor Strange stops him and says, "Spare his life and I will give you the stone." Tony tells him not to give him the time stone, but he pulls it from another dimension seemingly and gives it to Thanos, who teleports to Earth to, of course, retrieve the Mind Stone. Tony then says, "Why did you do that?" Especially as on Ebony Maw's ship, Strange had said that he would protect the Time Stone at all costs, even if it meant letting Tony and Peter Parker die. And I don't think that Strange has all of a sudden put more importance on Tony's life than saving the universe. He analyzed 14 million possible outcomes, and this was the only course of action that would ultimately lead to them saving the universe. Even if now his action of giving the Time Stone to Thanos seems pretty counterintuitive, Doctor Strange says to Tony, "We're in the end game now," indicating, I think, that although Strange was reluctant to give the Time Stone to Thanos, This was always part of the plan. They will have to lose this battle to ultimately win the war. Doctor Strange was taking a loss now to ultimately win the war. A sacrifice that would even lead to his own death and the death of half the universe, as after Thanos snaps his fingers and just before he himself ceases to exist, he specifically addresses Tony and says, "Tony, there was no other way," clearly indicating that he saw these events playing out in the future, ultimately leading to Thanos' defeat. So don't worry, this is all part of the plan. Star-Lord didn't mess anything up yet. But where are all those who died when Thanos snapped his fingers, and how will they get back? I personally think they're in the Soul World in the Soul Stone, where of course Gamora's soul is, possibly Red Skull. How they're gonna get out? That's the mystery. To explore these and other theories, please check out some of my other Infinity War breakdown and theory videos. Please also like this video if you did, and subscribe to the channel and enable notifications for more Marvel content. Also, why not check out some awesome new Infinity War themed clothing by clicking on the links in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers for now.